Here are some harsh truths about women that most men never learn. Number one, if you're a man with money and status and you start a relationship by spoiling her, she would most likely want you to continue that way. The way you set the tone is what we expect for you to continuously do. So if you're not sure of the consistency of this money, or perhaps you're just spending now to get her attention or to impress her, you're setting yourself up for failure. You don't enter one chance, so because when you stop doing all of those things you do, she will think you don't love her anymore or you don't care about her as such. I give you an example. So you meet this fantastic woman and then you buy her a car, take her on vacation, all the good stuff, the love is sweet and everything is just smooth. 6 months later, your work gets tough and finances grows lean. Instead of seeing it as a temporary change, she feels disappointed because in her mind, the expensive lifestyle is who you are. You see, you did not just create a habit, you created an expectation. This doesn't mean you shouldn't be generous, of course, but you shouldn't introduce a lifestyle you cannot comfortably sustain. The standard you set at the beginning is what we often expect you to maintain. It takes a woman who is really mature to understand that, okay, sometimes the road gets tough. Life happens in general. Majority of the women just feel like if it's this rosy at the beginning, then it should always be this rosy. Another harsh reality is that most of the time, a woman will always remember the bad things you say and did more than the good. I remember one time my husband and I were having this argument and then he looked at me and he was like, you're very silly. I was so angry and I'm like, how can you call me silly? And even years later, I'll remember that and I'll tell you that that's how you called me silly the other time. Even though now, thinking about it, when I say it, he'll just laugh and say, no, you know, for you, a small thing like this, you just be remembering it, you cannot even forget. This is just an example. Like, it can be extreme when you fight, especially when you know that you still love that woman. Like, you're going to come back from a fight, you're going to come back from an argument. Always remember that the bad things you say, she would remember. It's like magnets in our brain. We hardly forget. So the point here is that we often remember the bad things more than the good thing. It's just a harsh reality about us women. Another thing is 99.9% of the time, we just want you to listen. Like, I just want to vent. I don't want you to proffer solution at that moment. Maybe later. But you guys are always, action oriented. You just want to proffer solution immediately and just let's get this over with. But I just want to vent. If you can just give me that listening ear, I think it's like therapy. Another harsh truth is that she doesn't want to hear about the things you wanted to do. She just wants to see you do them. For example, you tell her something like, oh, I drove past the store and I saw this dress. It was so beautiful. I know it's going to fit you perfectly well. And in her mind, she's like, did you buy the dress? No. Then why are you telling me this? Why didn't you just buy the dress? Women generally judge actions more than intentions. The fact that I thought about her is sweet, but what will leave a lasting impression is actually buying the dress. Good intentions are appreciated, but actions are remembered. Another thing is women are nurturers. So when you find her trying to nurture you, even to a fault, it's just a woman thing, okay? Because we have this, maternal instinct. We want to make sure that everything is fine. She might ask you one question and just to check in again and to check in again and to check in. And you're like, I've heard you. How many times do you want to ask me the same question? It's just her nurture instinct kicking in. Okay, maybe she tell you, buy this thing for this child. Please don't forget. And she send you like 3 messages just to remind you of the same thing. Don't get upset. In a healthy relationship, maintaining your identity would earn respect often more than giving in. A healthy woman will want you to grow, but she will know where to draw the line, even with the whole caring thing, because you're a grown man. You've lived almost half of your life before meeting her. So, she can't possibly start training and schooling you all over again, right? So a healthy relationship requires that both individuals are wholesome, and coming together makes the relationship even more interesting. Another harsh reality about us women is that attraction is not permanent for us, and this is very harsh. Why? Because sometimes you find yourself in a relationship and you'll be like, is it that my woman doesn't find me attractive anymore? She doesn't look at me a certain way. Or maybe when it comes to having sex, she's not always available for me. She's giving excuses upon excuses. Because attraction for us, it doesn't stay stagnant. So many things trigger attraction and so many other things bring down the attraction. I'll give you an example. A woman who went through pregnancy, gave birth to a child. Honestly, in this phase of life, the last thing in her mind most of the time is having sex with you. And it doesn't mean that she doesn't love you or she doesn't see you like a man that is attractive. But because you, on the other end, you're looking at her and you're like, every time she's talking about the kids, business, she doesn't even look at you and, admire you like before and come close and romance you like before. So you think that maybe she doesn't like me anymore. Maybe she doesn't find me attractive anymore. No, it's not like that. Attraction is not constant. Sometimes we're not feeling it. The hormones are just all over the place. That is why I always say that when it comes to relationship and kindling the romance and all of that, it takes intentionality. You have to intentionally want to bring back the spark, want to put her in the mood. And in this case, effective communication is very important. Before you rule it out that she doesn't find you attractive anymore, talk to her. Some men do not really pay attention. A woman might be suffering in silence and she probably doesn't want to talk because she doesn't want to seem like someone who is whining all the time. But when you take your time to ask her some questions, find out how she's feeling, you'll be able to understand some things and see it from her own perspective. And lastly on this list, women will always remember how you made them feel compared to what you do for them. And that is why in one of my videos, I'm going to pin it as an end screen to this video. I said women only care about one thing, and that one thing is how you make them feel. It doesn't even matter what you do for them. So, a lot of men have this mindset that when I provide, I'm a provider. I buy everything for her, I give her money. What more does she want? How are you making her feel? Honestly, what we want is not so much if you really understand. And I am not even always making this video just to support women and to tell you what to do for your woman. No, I'm just bringing you enlightenment for those who do not know this already. Okay, how you make her feel is way more important than what you do for her. You can be doing all of the providing and all of the everything, and if she doesn't feel appreciated and loved and seen in the process, she's still not going to really appreciate it. And it's going to be like as if she's undermining all of your efforts. So while you're providing, also check in to understand how she feels about it. Because if you provide shelter, you provide food and all of that, and you're not emotionally present, she's going to feel neglected. And who knows, maybe someone springs up from the corner and is becoming more present with her, emotionally available, and she begins to build bond and attachment. And before long, you hear things like infidelity, things like cheating. These days, women don't even need to go out of the marriage to cheat. They cheat emotionally. By the time you begin to confide in someone who is not your husband or who is not your boyfriend or your man, just for emotional succor, then that, to me, that is cheating. And the bad thing about that is that you can graduate from that phase into the next phase, which is now outright cheating, when you now physically leave your relationship and cling to that person. You may forget a conversation within a week, but she may remember how dismissed, appreciated, ignored, or understood she felt during that conversation for years. Emotional memories last longer than factual ones. So understanding women is not all about learning tricks and manipulation. It's about becoming the kind of man who builds trust, communicates well, and leads with maturity. The men who enjoy the healthiest relationships are not the ones who know every dating strategy. They are the ones who understand people. So the essence of this video is for you to understand women in that perspective. Because if I tell you harsh realities or harsh truths about women, and you pay attention and you listen to me and you try to check with the women in your life, maybe the ones you are in love with, you'll be able to see one or two lines that come together and make sense to you. And with that understanding, you'll be able to know how to handle her better. And what happens in the end, your relationship is even more enjoyable. Thank you so much for watching. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Wendizel and I appreciate you for stopping by. If you haven't already, subscribe and like the video so that more people can see this piece of content. Do well to check out this video right here, which talks about women appreciate how you make them feel more than what you do for them. I'll see you right there. Bye.